Hey guys, it's Kay Journey, and I am back today actually with something kind of special. I've been because my youngest has been so sick these last couple of weeks. She's better. She's at school today. She missed school yesterday, which is why this video is being filmed the day after it was supposed to be out. She went to school on Tuesday, and she missed Monday, and it was just the whole weekend before was just an epic shit show. So anyway, in that downtime where between the puking and the fevers and the medicine. um, I kind of sat down and really thought to myself, what's wrong with my system right now, with my planning system, and what's really getting in the way of me creating plans. Not only I'm dealing with a couple of things. So number one, I'm really struggling with time management, just simply because of how much my daughter's been sick and how much life has been throwing at me. And it feels a little bit useless to plan when life is like that, but at the same time, I do have downtime and I'm not capitalizing on it. So I'm hoping that moving forward, things are going to get better. It's springtime. The sun is out. It's starting to feel really good here. I know it's not technically spring until like a couple of weeks from now, but it's starting to feel really, really like good up here in the Pacific Northwest. And I kind of feel like I'm coming out of that big winter fog where I'm like, okay, it's time to come back to life again. So anyway, what I did is these discs are Happy Planner discs. This is a Talia covers. They come in a pack. These are actually two front covers. They come in a pack with a Talia logo on it, and I hate it. So I have pack 5, and so now I have two front covers somewhere or back covers or something that have the thing. Anyway, what I did was I created my own planner, basically. This is an alcohol ink painting that I did forever ago, and when I sealed it, it got like really screwed up. So I actually cut it up to put it on a planner forever ago, but it was Happy Planner size, so I just cut it down to fit this. So here we go. So I did all of this in Google Docs. I haven't filled anything out. I haven't touched anything besides the week that I'm in March right now. In fact, I printed this morning. I edited it and printed it this morning. So I know that we are actually here, and these 2 months I don't need. However, I wanted to just be able to go in and change the numbers when I do this next year, if I'm still using this format. Which, knowing myself, I probably won't be. Who knows? But the reason that I switched from the Happy Planner size down to the junior size was I've been playing around. Yet another failed thing. I've been playing around with the mini Happy Planner size, and I really like the size as like a journal. I'm actually doing I'm going to be revamping this one. This was a tarot journal for a long time. I'm turning it into my my planting journal because I'm growing a bunch of stuff here at home, which is great. So I'm working on redoing that. And then I was planning in this, and I had created these weeks. That I liked. They're based on the Happy Planner Mini Horizontal, which I will be actually supposedly getting one here soon. It should be in the mail by now, but the company hasn't sent it out, and I just kind of gave up on it. But if it comes, those pages and that little planner will probably be my planting planner, and this will go back to being a tarot planner. I haven't decided. What I know is that right now I need a separate planner for my plants. So that's what I'm using. And then this is going to actually most likely go back. It's got a Talia back cover that I cut down to fit into one of those A6 planners that like had the rings, and I took the rings out. Anyway, it goes in that. So that'll be my journal. Actually, I'm thinking about that being my goals journal, but I haven't decided. But I knew that I wanted something that could sit on my desk, that wouldn't get in the way, but that I could see a full week on. And the problem with the mini Happy Planner is that there's not enough room in the mini Happy Planner to plan my time. I can plan my tasks, but not my time. So anyway, then I decided that I would just take something that I had created for myself in the Happy Planner size, and I would just squish it down into this A5 kind of junior size, half letter size. Again, these dividers I made myself. This is printed vellum, so it's like thick vellum that I printed on, and this was an alcohol ink painting that I made. I made like a series of matching alcohol ink paintings that I loved. I scanned them, I threw them in Procreate, edited them, and then I turned them into these. So this is just kind of an inbox. It's just brain dump area, which has always been missing from all of my planners for the most part, and I really need it. It was one of the things that I liked the most about having a bullet journal, was that there was always space to just kind of write down random stuff. But I didn't want to do a bullet journal, so I had considered turning this into a bullet journal. I think that's like one of the last videos that I did, and I haven't even set this up. It's been such chaos in my house. I haven't even been able to set this up. I have not been able to write, really, but I had considered turning this into a bullet journal and a planner, and a writing notebook, and I realized that the last thing that I wanted was to be blending these two things together. Every time I do, I fail, and I'm not sure why. And I also cannot stand drawing out bullet journal, like, you know, my dailies, my weeklies, and stuff like that. I get so tired of it. And I think that's one of my biggest barriers with bullet journals, is that, like, I want it to look at minimum sort of aesthetically pleasing. That stack of notebooks set up over there. But at the same time, I don't want to have to draw it all out. Drawing it all out takes so much time, and I don't like it. So anyway, this is some toll paper. Again, I'm just taking stuff from my own stash. I've had this paper for forever. I used to bullet journal on it. It's really nice. It handles a lot of media really well, actually. Excuse me. But I hate how dark these lines are. Like, it always really, really bothered me that these lines were so dark. So then we're getting into what I set up for myself. So I haven't done it recently, but I'm really looking forward to getting back into it. Doing a full, like, monthly spread of tarot cards for each month. So that's the beginning. Is just like, what do I need to be paying attention to for this month, and, you know, kind of an in-depth view of the month. And then I have my monthly, which I actually really like. I made sure to add lines into it. I used to have a version of this that didn't have lines, and it made me kind of nuts because I'd write all over it. So I like the lines. I like that I have this notes section over here. There's 5 weeks worth. Then I have my budget, super important to me. I keep trying to fit this into happy planners, like in the back, these two things, or in the front, and it doesn't seem to work out. It doesn't feel like it blends in naturally, and I think it's just because it's something that I'm adding in. Whereas in here, it feels totally natural. So I'm super excited to get started on it. And then this is where I completely changed what I had before. So before, I had 4 weeks with, and this was slightly different. I didn't have the task block tracking. So how I'm going to use this is I'm going to take each task and I'm going to guesstimate. So this is HB90. This is Sarah Cannon's HB90 system. I have not taken her class. I've just watched her videos. So I'm kind of like mushing together what I've learned with what I already do. So basically what she does is she has task blocks, which are about 25-minute blocks of time with breaks in between. And she guesstimates how long each thing is going to take her. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. I'm going to be like, for my guess, it's going to be hatched this way. And then for what it actually takes me, it's going to be hatched this way. And there's actually in this box right here, there is the same amount of task blocks that I have each week is in these boxes, which is really, really cool. I have slightly less, actually, I should say, like, one of these lines is too much. However, if I counted it like weekend hours, which I do sometimes do, it's exactly the right amount of blocks, which is great. So anyway, I have 5 weeks here, and I'm just going to be going through and labeling each week, and then I'll write like my major tasks down. And then over here, it's like 3 goals for the month. That's another Sarah Cannon thing. She does 3 goals per quarter, like 3 main goals in different areas. And so I'm kind of adapting that in here, and I'm doing 3 monthly goals. So for my goals for March, I actually really want to fix my website, because my website is like a total disaster. And I want to fix my Substack, because my Substack is just blank. I started out with good intentions, and then I have done absolutely nothing with it since November, because November was just such a crazy month. I have not done anything with it. I haven't touched it since then. So I need to come up with my plan for my Substack. So it's business backend and plan for my Substack, and then it's going to be a YouTube goal. So I actually need to completely redo my YouTube plan to kind of capitalize on the things that I've been learning in the last few months. And then my writing goals. And then what it'll be is like, I'll have my goals up here, and then I'll have the tasks associated with each of these goals, and then I'll migrate them over and I'll actually plan them here. And this is actually part of a system that I set up, not the time blocking, but this weekly system I actually started with when I was doing the 12-week year, and I plan on restarting that. So I'm kind of taking the HB90 method and the 12-week year, and I'm just kind of blending them together. And I'm actually pretty excited about that. And then, so this is another thing that I can't get in a happy planner at all. So I've got like my mom plan. So I've got like what's the dinner and what are the chores that need to be done. I really want to start getting my cleaning on like a cycle. So I know every day I'm spending like 20 minutes cleaning and it's not a big deal. Whereas right now it like builds and builds because I'm not paying attention to it because it's not in my planner. So anyway, I'm very excited about that. I'm very, very excited about that. I also really want to, on this, well, not on this page, I'll probably have spare pages, but I plan on starting to like do meal prepping on Sundays. So I'm going to be creating recipes, and I'm just going to create a grocery list for myself. And then on Saturday, I will go grocery shopping. And on Sunday, I plan on taking the whole day and meal prepping for the next week. I'm very excited about it. Okay, so then over here, just like with the monthly thing, here are like my main goals for the week. So over here, I would do like revamp website, fix these pages, and these pages on my website. Over here, it would be, okay, what's the breakdown of how do I fix those pages? So like, I want to do a deep dive on each of my books. So I need like character deep dives for each of these characters, and it would be like a list. And then, what are like comp books that would match it, comp movies, things like that. Just create like a deep dive of each thing. Or alternately, for if I were doing like my YouTube channel and talking about it, it would be, okay, I want to plan out like what are my recurring videos and what are some video ideas that are just kind of one-offs that would be, and where would they go in my plan? Because I had a plan that I really liked and I kind of fell off of it, and I want to revisit it, but kind of fix it. And so it would be, okay, so fix this month, and how many, figuring out how many open spots I have where I'm going to have to think of something. I want to take all the decision making out of the equation for months at a time, so that all I have to do is sit down and make the videos. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to make any decisions. I just have to make the videos, that kind of thing. So that'll go in here. And that's just for this week. This is this week's goals. So I probably won't fill all of this unless there's just a lot of little mini tasks that go with this part of the goal. So I've taken a chunk of the goal, and yeah. And then I'm going to be keeping a score down here. So this is another part of the 12-week year that they suggest you do, is you have like how many tasks did you give yourself for this week and what's your score on those tasks, and really kind of getting a good view of excuse me, of how I'm overestimating what I can do, or how I'm underestimating what I can do, or things like that. Okay, so I kind of skip a week in there because I already wrote on it. So this is what the weekly looks like, and I'm really, really, really excited about this because this is the part that's going to be on my desk and open, that kind of a thing. The problem with this used to be on this page, and so once I kind of migrated the stuff that was originally over here onto this page, this stayed open, and I never used the habit tracker, and I never tracked my water, and it was very like sporadic. And I've realized that I need everything that I need for a day on these pages so that I actually use it. So I'm really excited about this. Actually, I'm really, really excited to be back in this. I forgot to darken the text for the weekdays, and this Sunday is like way too many lines up, but I fixed it. I printed out March and then quarter two, so I've got these labels like to come off of these. I need to come up with a better solution for that. But I've got March and then April, May, June back there in Q2, and I've got a Q2 section here. And it's just kind of a brain dump for Q2 so that I can start planning it for, my weeks and whatnot. And then I have a 13-week breakdown thing that I created in Happy Planner size that I will likely be putting in there, but I want to get there first and see if this is actually working for me before I print anything out. And that's why this isn't actually totally full, because I want to make sure that I'm really, really using this. I was in this system, although slightly different, for about a year. I had created it and I was using it, and I used it for about a year, and I loved it, and I switched it up because I wanted to go smaller, and then that didn't work. So then I went back up to the Happy Planner size, and then I just wanted to print out stuff. It just became a huge mess, and I messed with a system that was working, and it was done. So I'm gonna go back to this, and I'm very excited about it. Anyway, so for this month, I'm not going to go through my tarot page with you guys because that's private. But what I was thinking was I would sit here and I would show you guys how I would set up the monthly. So I'm using these, Ohuhu water-based markers. They do really well on this paper. It's 32 pounds, bright white paper from HP that I'm printed on, and I love it. It's wonderful paper. So I'm going to be using these, and I'm going to set this up and show you guys kind of what this would look like. And of course, the first thing that I do here is mess up which colors I'm using where from my plan. So I had planned on the color that I'm using right there at the very top to be the one that's in the cells, and this darker color that I'm using right here to be up top. But you know what? It is what it is. I'm just going to move forward. The problem that I ran into previously with printing these things out is that when I make a mistake like this, I convince myself, oh, I can just print out new pages and fix these pages, which turns out to be a really good waste of paper. So I'm just really trying to force myself to embrace my mistakes and just move forward with it. I really just want to get this up and moving and useful. I also know that this color palette that I chose here does not match the planner at all, but I've been using so much blue and purple in my pages lately that I kind of wanted to just step away and use something different. And I knew that these kind of muted, like greenish, goldish colors would go really well with the purple pen that I plan on using. So it kind of worked out, and I'm actually really happy with it, even though it's not perfect. And here are my budget and my gratitude pages. If you've seen any setups that I've done before, I normally print these out and then I just throw them in a Happy Planner. And I don't really like how they sit in the Happy Planner because they're not part of the Happy Planner system. And here I'm actually breaking down my goals by color code. I will talk about that more in about 2 seconds. Okay, so I wanted to kind of stop the speed through right there and start talking about this. So what I'm thinking about doing for this attempt right here is actually some color coding. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I stick with the same color for each goal. So I've got test paper up here. I'm going to color with it first before I do it. But I'm going to basically take the task that's assigned to like this goal. And when I do my hatching, I'm going to color it in that color for how many blocks I think it's going to take me. And then what I will do is when I transfer it over into kind of my weekly plan, I will likely do the same thing. Only, not have the task blocks. So basically I will be recording the task blocks based off of each of these weekly things. So if I write down, like, say, I know that I've got something that I want to be working on from, like, say 8 a.m. to 11, I'll mark down that I want to be working on that from there, but then I will also write down what I actually did. So I'm going to use color coding, which I will be doing down here. That's usually what I use this area for. So I'll be color coding like what I'm working on when or whatnot, like what project I want to be working on. And then I'll write down, what I did and how long it actually took me. So we'll see what that actually looks like when I'm like working through it, because I had a way that I was using this. It was really effective. But I'm kind of changing it up a little bit, and I don't really remember, basically because I don't really remember how I was using it before that was so effective. So I'm going to be experimenting for this next week before I jump into Q2. So, it'll just be an experiment, but I'm very excited. So I think I'm going to end this here because you guys kind of get the idea. I'm going to be, coloring headers and going through and just filling information in. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into this. I maybe in the future will fill out more with you guys on camera. I'm not sure what you guys want to see from me. I get a lot of views on my planning videos, but I get more interaction on my writing videos, which is kind of interesting. So just kind of let me know what you guys want to see. If you want to see how I plan on using this in tandem with my writing notebook and things like that, just go ahead and leave a comment and down below. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will be back next week, hopefully better organized.